the Big Break Podcast, where we delve into the rich history of jazz to celebrate artists, entrepreneurs, and jazz enthusiasts alike. Join our host, Dr. Dina Bennett, well-known ethnomusicologist and executive director of the American Jazz Museum, on a journey into the stories behind the art. Let's go.
Welcome to another inspiring episode of the American Jazz Museum podcast, where we celebrate the stories and legacies of those who have shaped the cultural and entrepreneurial landscape of Kansas City. I'm your host, Dr. Bennett, and today we have the honor of featuring a true icon in the world of business and community leadership, Mr. Ollie Gates. Ollie Gates is a name synonymous with culinary excellence and entrepreneurial success in Kansas City. As the visionary behind Gates BBQ, one of the most iconic barbecue establishments in the country, Ollie's journey is a remarkable story of passion, innovation, and community impact. This is an episode that you don't want to miss. Welcome back to another episode of the Big Break Podcast. My name is Dr. Dina Bennett, Executive Director of the American Jazz Museum, and my special guest today is Mr. Ollie Gates from Gates BBQ. How are you today, Mr. Gates?
I'm stumbling along for an old man.
Well, we are so happy to have you here today with us as our special guest. Thank you.
All right.
Here we are at Gates BBQ at one of your locations.
Yes.
And can you tell us a little bit about the room that we're in?
About the room we're in now?
Yes, the room we're in now.
It's called the Cherry Boys Club. The room was named for a group of gentlemen that did a lot of philanthropic work for the city during the wartime, and they were a philanthropic organization. And so I named this room after it was part of the Roberts Building complex at 19th and Vine, and the whole area of my restaurant depicts the Roberts Building at 19th and Vine, from the Rum Boogie, which was a liquor store on the corner, to Gates BBQ, which was a part of it, and Miss Lizzie's, who ran the policy wheel next door. So we got them all in the Roberts Building at 19th Vine, which was started by a guy named Roberts, who had the first dealership for new cars west of Mississippi. Yeah. Okay.
All righty. And you knew these gentlemen that were part of the club?
Cherry Boys Club. I had a chance to meet one or two of them. I didn't know them all personally. Okay. But I knew what they were doing as a kid. So you got to realize 1941, 42, I was still a youngster. I was about 10, 11 years old. So I just knew of them. I didn't know them personally.
Okay. And so were they sort of mentors for you, or they must...
No, not necessarily mentor, but they certainly were part of the positive package that came out of the 18th and Vine era, yes. Okay. And we did copy after them with an organization that I did belong to called the Enshriners, which has done a lot of the same kind of work since the time, not war effort, but war efforts on the city, yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. Well, growing up in Kansas City, what are some personal memories that stand out to you in terms of jazz and 18th and Vine?
Well, my memories are based around what happened directly to Gates family in the 19th Vine era. And we had jazz inside the club. When my dad opened up, it wasn't exactly the kind of barbecue restaurant it is today. Okay. It had a crap game in the basement. And then it had, we bootlegged liquor on the second floor. And so that was kind of the criteria by which we stayed open till 1:30 in the morning. When all the rest of the joints closed, we stayed open. And the music came inside. We had a piano, we had a group, and they played the piano. So I had the opportunity here in 1946, 47, music directly in my dad's restaurant. Restaurant as it was known.
Yes.
Yes.
So was that the original location of the Gates BBQ?
That's where it started. Okay. It wasn't really Gates BBQ at the time. My dad had a partner, and it was called Old Kentucky. And his guy named Johnny Hutspad. That lasted about 2 months. And so Dad had ended up, had a misunderstanding. So Dad had an opportunity to buy him out. Then my mother came into the business and then turned into Gates BBQ.
Okay.
But before then, it was a speakeasy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long was it before you all branched out beyond the 18th and Vine district and began creating new locations, including the one on Brooklyn was
yes,
your...
that was the first. Mm-hmm. We opened that in 1958. Okay. I got out of the Army in 56. Took us a couple of years till Dad bought the old junkyard. It was at 12th and Brooklyn. And I said, why 12th and Brooklyn? It's a junkyard. Mm-hmm. He said, well, I said, everybody's going south. Why are you going north? We were at the time on 24th and Brooklyn. He said, you see downtown? I said, yeah. He said, that's why I'm going north. So he decided we were going north rather than south. So that's the barbecue place started at 12th and Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. That was the first one. That's the first one we owned, actually. Built that and owned it. Okay. Yeah. So how many of your family are involved in the business today? I mean, my family, immediate family? Yes. Oh, yes. How many? Yes, or your children about 7, 8 involved and... all my girls. Yeah. All my boys, and some supplementary kids. So okay. My son, his name was George, the same as my dad. Married young lady, had a couple of kids, so they're involved. And one of my daughters had a couple of kids, and they're involved. And then Arthea had a daughter, and they're involved. So everybody's involved. That's wonderful. Everybody's dependent on Gates BBQ. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you're quite significant to the Kansas City community. Is that right? You do a lot of community service. Yeah, I plan on doing that. Yeah. Do you want to talk to us a little bit about why that's so important to you? Why? Yeah, why giving back and working with the community is so important to you? You got to realize the community was pretty good to us too. Mm-hmm. So it's not giving back, we owe. Okay. And so, we owe something. And so we started an organization called the Enshriners when my friend Bruce died. Okay. And so that gave us an opportunity to do some things we wanted to do. And I love seeing our community express itself rather than having to move. Mm-hmm. I remember things how they once were, and then something happened. Public accommodation and fair housing, a lot of opportunities opened up for people to move out. They moved out of the area and left it to the haves and the have-nots. And so we decided to find an opportunity to say we should have some things, not where we mandated at one time to have to be, but to make it so that we want to live in those areas and thrive in those areas. So I don't know why we have to move out of an area. People in Europe and the other countries live in the same areas 300 years. Mm-hmm. But we seem to want to move out of the area because the ground gets old, I guess. But dirt, terra firma stays the same. George Washington Carver showed us how to rejuvenate the soil. That's right. He did it with a peanut. I'm sure we can do it with money. All right? Wonderful. All right. And one thing I always like about coming to Gates BBQ is the customer service. Oh. Yes. You like how may I help you, huh? Yes, I do. How may I help you? And, if you need more napkins or something removed from your table or brought to your table, everyone is so friendly and service-minded. And so was that intentional, the way that you trained your... We do two things. We train and hope they pay attention to the training. Yes. We do. We try. We have a school called Rib Tech. Oh, really? That's our college of barbecue knowledge. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know about that. Okay, so they go through certain kinds of training in order to... There's a rule for everything. That's wonderful. Yeah. Absolutely. And, I think that's why you all stand out in service. It's very, very smart. People work hard to, at least they know, they have some idea of what they're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. Okay. Whether they do it or not, that's that hope again. That's another story, yeah.
What are some life lessons that you've learned from your father and the family business that you carry with you today?
Oh, I think one of the best lessons I learned is that you cannot treat everybody the same. Oftentimes you hear, I treat everybody the same.
Yeah.
You can't treat everybody. You have to treat people like they want to be treated. And so that's probably the biggest life lesson I learned. Treat people differently, and you can't treat everybody the same.
Yes.
So you treat them like they want to be treated, and everybody be happy.
Because everybody's not the same.
Everybody.
Yeah, right. That's a great lesson.
You can't treat them all alike.
That's right. Because they're all different.
They're all different.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
one of the wisdom.
That's a huge lesson.
Yeah.
Outside of your work at Gates BBQ, what are some of your personal interests?
Building. I like to build.
You like to build?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
See what?
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
I finished school for that.
Yeah, excellent.
That was
Okay.
my major in school.
And what school did you go to?
I finished Lincoln University in Jersey City, Missouri.
Okay.
Yeah, but I went to several of them.
HBCU.
Went to North Carolina College in Durham. I went to Maryland State College in Princess Anne, Maryland. And I ended up at Lincoln University in Jersey City.
Okay. All right.
I went to learn to build things, and we did learn to build. In fact, we built the first 2 or 3 barbecue joints. We built them. We built the one in 12 in Brooklyn personally.
Okay.
Yeah. I enjoy building. Yeah.
How many locations do you have, Mr. Gates?
Functioning now?
Yes.
5.
5?
Yeah, 5.
5. Can you share a story about a particular mentor or influence in your life who inspired you and your passion?
Well, of course, my dad inspired me with the get up from here, you tramp, and you're going to be lazy in this here camp. That's what inspired me. Yeah, you heard that story, haven't you?
I haven't heard that story.
Well, you better get up from here, you scamp, or there's going to be trouble in this here camp. Well, that's what my dad told me, so I had to get up and get the step. So he was my first mentor, let's say. Not Simon Legree, mentor. But if I had to take a personal opinion of a person, a guy named Reuben Street. He controlled 18th and Paseo, of course, when he had to own the Streets Hotel.
Yes.
He owned the Blue Room, and he owned the barbershop, and he owned the whatnot shop on the corner. So he had quite a bit going on, along with the Rose Room, which was a nice restaurant. Yeah. All of them, about where the restaurant is today. About the same spot.
Okay.
Yeah. But he was the kind of guy that ran a good, clean, sophisticated business. And that Streets Hotel was the main hotel that black could go to at the time. And that was the #1 hotel in Kansas City for blacks. Yeah. So he was my first model. Yeah. Beside my dad.
Okay.
Of course.
Did you see famous people down in 18th and Vine? Or?
Do you see famous black folks?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Who did you see?
You name them. Yeah, from Louis Armstrong to Nat King Cole to Satchel Paige, if you want to say it like that.
Yes. Okay.
From Jackie Robinson to backcatcher, Earl Batty was coming to my mind. Earl Batty was a black catcher for Minnesota, but he was there. Okay. Then you want to talk about all the movie stars that you want that were black at the time. One of the guys that's most memorable in my mind is a guy named Gates Moore.
Oh my goodness, Gates Moore. He was born in Topeka.
Gates Moore was a friend of ours coming to Kansas City. I was under the impression, and I'm not sure of this, and I'm going to say it.
Okay.
I think he's the father to Melba Moore.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a movie star in New York. So he was a friend.
Okay.
Then anybody that came to Kansas City. See, Kansas City was such a segregated place, and it mandated you in such a tight area in 18th and Vine that anybody that came to town, they had to come to 18th and Vine area of 19th Street, and you met them.
Yes.
Got a chance to meet them. And I was raised on 19th and Vine, of course, at the age of 13 years old. And so I made it my business to see all the guys, all the Monarch players, know about all the guys, every one of them, or you knew about any so-called movie star. Rochester came. I don't know if you know who Rochester
yes,
was.
from Jack Benny's show?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got to meet them all, and they would all come by. Yeah, that was very gratifying to a young guy to see all those movie stars and big-time people as we knew them. Yeah, it was fun. And that continued even when white started coming in to the places down on that 19th Mile. You know, white could come and black couldn't go. That was all the way it went at that time. So we enjoyed both sides of the spectrum, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Okay. What kinds of things did you do in the early years in the restaurant?
What did I do?
Yes.
I carried the wood in from the front yard, from the street all the way to the back, which was very tiresome after football practice at Lincoln High School, and I'd see this pile of wood out in front in the middle of the street, knowing I had to carry it to the back.
Yes.
That's the most memorable thing.
Okay.
The second thing was the smoke got in my eyes in the barbecue pit. And I said, Dad, the smoke is in my eyes. He said, well, duck. And so I ducked under the smoke. Because I was tall and the smoke would come out of the pit. So you talking about memorable?
Yes.
Those are the bad things. I said, I'm going to college. I'm not going to ever be in the barbecue business. Here I am.
Yeah. Well, that's a song. Smoke gets in your eyes.
Yeah, I know it, but that was the wrong kind of smoke at the wrong time.
I hear you. Yes, sir. So, what kind of leader have you been?
What kind of what?
Leader have you been?
You'd have to ask somebody else that. Yeah.
Okay. I have to ask someone else.
You have to ask somebody else what kind of leader I've been. You can say I'm the greatest thing that ever happened, and say I'm the worst thing also at the same time. So
yes,
I don't gauge myself. I just try to do better all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. But you know, whatever progress you made, you don't do things by yourself.
Yes.
I had a cadre of people, and you can name not all of them, but my family was behind me all the way, and so that helps. But you can't take any credit. You can take all the whooping, but you can't take all the credit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I hear Congressman Emanuel Cleaver is one of your good friends.
He is.
Yes. Can you tell me a little bit about that relationship? How long have you known him?
Since he's been in politics.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't aware when he first came to Kansas City as a minister. I'm not a real churchgoer, you know.
Okay.
Me and my mother got in a big argument about going to church, you know. She whipped me so bad when I was a kid in church because I was kind of mischievous.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, she kept the switch on my legs. And I said, as soon as I get old enough to work, I'm going to work and I'm not going to go to church anymore, Mama. And so that was the end of my church-going days.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't look at church in the right perspective, I guess.
I see.
But ever since Cleaver started in politics, when Bruce was running, when I really met him, and then from then on out, our relationship grew. But I like Cleaver.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Yes.
And he deserves whatever he's doing because he means it from his heart. And so I appreciate people like him, even though he's a Texan. I call him an immigrant.
Oh, yeah, he is a Texan, isn't he? Yes, indeed.
Yeah, but anyway, he's a good one.
Yeah.
And he means well. From bottom of his heart, always.
Yeah. He's another one that gives back to the community and...
well, he gives.
Yeah.
Not back. He just gives.
He just gives.
Yeah, and I don't know where people get this back stuff. It's like, you know, when something's good to you and you give, it ain't giving back. It's reciprocating. You know,
I understand.
People, and Kansas City's been good to both of us.
Yeah.
And so, you know, ain't no back.
Okay.
You know, it's forward.
Just giving.
You can't give it. You can't do enough. But you just have to have perspectives and curves on certain things. But you give as much as you possibly can, not to individuals, but to the whole of the city as you can. Yeah. Unless we not had the organization much like the Cheerio Boys, that do things in the city. And we did quite a few things under that organization's heading, which was part of Bruce Watkins Foundation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see. So we were talking earlier, and you were mentioning that you joined a fraternity in your college days.
Yeah.
So what fraternity did you join?
Red and white, Kappa Alpha Psi.
Kappa Alpha Psi.
Kappa Alpha Psi. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I look at other things more than I should have looked at Kappa Alpha Psi, because I think they have a lot to give that's not noted, as well as the Shriners. There's another organization that's noted, but they do so many things that's not noted for that it doesn't catch your eye right away. But they're a great organization, besides being a college organization as it was. We carried on into life. And I think they've done a great job.
There's some other things that you would want to talk about today. I see you have some notes there, so I want to make sure we cover those things.
I had a couple of answers to some questions I thought might be asked of me. And so I had a couple of, nothing particular that I want to transact to talk about. Okay. But I want to be in a position to answer any questions with some background, some thought given to it that you'd ask me. So I do have, and I think one of them was, I think you were going to ask me about the business nature of the business, how I enjoyed what I did. And I think to carry on a business like I've been in, you have to marry the business to make it do what you want it to do. It's a marriage. It ain't the kind of marriage to marry man to wife. Sure. But it's a marriage between you and that business that you're trying to propose to go. And so that's one of the things I wanted. If somebody was to say, well, what happened? Marry it. Understand it, that you got to get into it deeply and be meaningful, and all the other things that go with a happy marriage. That's business. Okay. Yeah. Because it's a relationship. That's related to business. It's a relationship. Okay. I might say this too. Yeah. One of the strongest things that influenced me in business, helped me in business, was my Army stint. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Tell me about that. Well, I happened to be, I took ROTC in high school, and that gave me the opportunity to take it through college. And when I went to college, the Korean War was going on, and I made a promise, if you let me finish college, I'd go to the Army and do my 2 years. Okay. They let me go to the Army. I was a lieutenant when I went in the Army, and that was probably the greatest teacher I had outside of college there was. Okay. Yeah, you learned quite a bit from the Army. And I would suggest everybody in this country, as a youngster, go to the Army. Ladies, too. Yes. Yeah. Okay. You learn a lot, basic training. You learn so much that you don't really get in your home training. Yeah, and you learn to do things in a systematic way of doing it. I raised my children in the morning to do that, too. Oh, yeah, we had reveille. Oh, yeah, yeah, we had reveille. Okay. But Lieutenant in the Army was probably one of the best things that happened to me. My whole business is set up on the way we set up the Army. Okay. Personnel, everything. So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the Army, the 2 years. I didn't want to stay in the Army, but I enjoyed the 2 years that I was there. I see. Yeah. Where were you stationed? I was actually stationed in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, my base training, but I took my training from Colorado Springs, Camp Carson, Colorado. My basic training was in Camp Carson. My engineering training was in Fort Belvoir in Virginia. I did my active duty in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. But I was TDY from Minnesota all the way to Louisiana in the Fifth Army area. So I was all over the United States. Never left the country though. Okay. In fact, I've never been out of the continental United States except to Matamoros, Mexico. Oh, okay. Would you like to go? No, I'm happy. No? I was ready to come back home after the years. I was gone 7 years. I said, I'm ready to come back home. I don't go to work. Yeah. Yeah. 5 years in college and 2 years in the Army, that was enough for me. That was enough traveling. Thank you. And while you were in the Army, you had started your family? You were married and had started your family? Yeah, I was married in the Army. I had two girls, I think, at the time. Okay. Arzia and Ingrid. Yeah, the first two kids. Okay. 54, Ingrid was born in 54, and I had one when I got out of the Army. My baby, another third girl, she was born in 56. And so that's when I got out of the Army, 56, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, had a good time.
Yeah.
Every time I came home, I dropped a baby.
Oh, that's all right. And how many do you have total?
5.
5. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Kansas City's been pretty good to me over the years. It's been good to Gates BBQ, and I certainly appreciate it. And I've tried to show that I appreciate it about what we've done physically, mentally, or strategically in the city, different areas that we've covered.
Okay.
You know, and try to make sure what we do is done in a professional way and beautiful. Keep our area clean and beautiful. So I think that's my way of showing how much I appreciate what they've done for me.
Well, you're to be commended for what you've done. Like I said, Gates BBQ is a treasure for Kansas City, and I'm so happy to be in your house today.
Yeah. I'm happy,
so to say.
So happy that you're here.
Yes, thank you.
Hope you continue that. Let me ask you a question, though.
Okay.
Blue Room used to have a program of bringing jazz into the gym theater. Whatever happened to that?
Yes. Are you speaking of our Jamming at the Gym series?
The series, yes.
Yes. So we didn't have it this year, but we are planning to bring it back next year.
Good, because I enjoyed that so much. Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad to hear that. And I think there are a lot of other people that are interested in us bringing it back.
We need, one of the things I think that was mentioned is the culture of 18th Street. In the old days, 18th Street was a mile square area that was given to you as the area that you had to do business in.
Yes.
But you didn't just do business in that area. It was there where it was lifestyle that you lived. Because you lived there, you died there, you got your education there, you got you got all your ministry work there.
Yes.
You participated in all the social events there. Everything happened within that proximity of a mile square, the mandated area of which you could do not only social, but everything else.
Yes.
You live and die in the same area.
Wow.
And the mentality there was lift yourself up, lift yourself up. Always try to better your condition, lift yourself up.
Okay.
That seems to have faded today. It's not a lift yourself up area anymore.
Yes.
It's let's do my own thing. Well, you can't do your own thing. There's too many things that people think about to do. And so you got to understand that there needs to be an understanding of what 18th Street should stand for now, because there's such rich history there. A young man named Bernard Powell said, "Ghetto or gold mine, the choice is yours." That's a gold mine. 18th and Vine is a gold mine. We need to have it conducted. You know, a conductor on a train or a conductor conducting an orchestra, tell people when to move. You know, conduct. Yes. It needs some conducting. It needs to say what we're going to be, whether or not you're a museum area, whether or not you're going to be a social area. What are you going to be? What are you trying to do? I want to build the Archive Plaza there. There's a picture of it over there. Get it up there for us so you can see it.
Okay.
I want to see the Archive Plaza there. And the person that's on the statue, have you seen it?
I have not seen it.
There it is right there.
Okay.
The statue you can show it to all of them. Don't tear it off. There's just 2 pages. Give it to them. Give me that for her.
Okay. Thank you.
That's 18th and Paseo looking north.
Okay, and that's Mr. Cab Calloway?
That's Cab Calloway.
Yes.
Now, it's not just Cab Calloway. He epitomizes an era that was great. With the zoot suit and the colorfulness that he had and the good time. He represents well. 18-foot statue of 18th and Paseo, right in the middle of the quadrangle. That's where the Archive Plaza starts. It ends at 11th and Paseo, where the Black Vegetable Memorial is up on 11th Paseo.
Yes.
Think all you can do between 18th or 19th and Paseo and 11th and Paseo.
Yeah,
how much you can memorize what has happened and make folk understand how great they really are. How great they are and how much they have to contribute. That could be. There's 22 different venues in 18th Street area that you could be proud of. That you could show. You could have some of the greatest conventions in Kansas City, small, not big ones, that epitomizes what 18th is about, what people in Kansas City are doing.
Yes.
And they're missing a boat there. That's economic whiz. Everybody be happy to be in an 18th Vine. Then you could suppose you made that a sales tax free area. How many businesses would go there? There's so much can be done in that area. There's also a fountain here.
Okay.
On 17th Terrace, right in the middle of the street. We blocked that street off.
Okay.
There's a fountain right there.
Oh.
That fountain is copied of a Snoop Dogg goblet. And then it's called,
I can see that. Okay.
That cup represents water overflowing that cup.
Cup overflow.
I drink from my saucer because my cup overflows.
Yes.
Don't know what they got. There's so much history there, so much good things, so much money can be made, can be generated. And they're missing it.
Yes.
They're missing it. My organization helped do Buck O'Neill Center. Now they're going to put the $27 million building on the corner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
there's so much could happen in that area. And we started in that area. 19th Vine's where we started. It's not that I owe something back to the city, but don't forget that was an economic beginning for us.
Yes.
That's the economic beginning for a lot of folk. The 18th Street is very important all over the world.
Yes, it is.
We're not capitalizing on it. There's no more all over the world than anything in this city. And we're not capitalizing on it.
You know, the buses pull up and people from...
I can hear you.
The buses pull up in front of 18th and Vine and the international, visitors come and it's a shrine to them, 18th and Vine, and it really should be to the world. But... Well, right now, we have the Baseball Museum and the Jazz Museum, Gym Theater. We could do more. We have Black Archives. We have to fill in the spaces. This is a beautiful plan.
And then with the new Buck O'Neill Center extension on that corner, this could be a tourist attraction, the second to none in Kansas City.
Yeah.
You got the brand new art building that took out of school. You got a black brewery up there. You got so many baseball kids for the kids. You got so many things on 18th Street. Not counting the blue room or the archives.
Yeah, Black Archives.
You got so much. Yeah. You have a tourist attraction. You're just losing the economic value of the area.
Yes.
You can't do that. It's got so much off. Baseball stadium. It needs to be a Truman Road and Truce. Vacant. Big vacant ground. Truman Road and Truce.
Big vacant ground.
White on one side, black on the other side.
Wow.
I'm just telling you. You got to understand that would be a great contributor to 18th and Vine. You can put that.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Put that Truman Road and Truce. Well, they got it down there on Truman Road and Grand. Move it on up the Truce. They stop bothering them people down there.
Yeah.
They can stay where they are because 18th, Truman Road and Truce is clean. One building between Truman Road and 18th. One building. Bus station wants to move all the buses out of there. They want to go out on 40 Highway with yellow freight. Why not?
Okay.
That'll be a place for them. Then you could make 18th Street something special. Then we're not conducting. We don't have a conductor down there now. You guys need to be in a position to start conducting. Somebody needs to say what needs to happen in these areas that were mandated to you by the city in 1919. I quit.
Thank you for that. Thank you so much for that. I will. Can I have this copy?
You got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yes, I hear you. And I'll be thinking about what you've said. Yep.
I didn't mean to preach to you.
That's all right. I knew you had it in you. So one last question.
Yeah.
So we've been talking with people about the opportunities they've had in their lives.
Yeah.
And we've been calling that their big break in life. What has been your big break
Went to the Army.
Went to the Army.
Yep.
Okay.
I went to the Army. That was my big break.
And that set everything up. Because that's, as you said, that has...
Well, I would probably say lesser one that I got a scholarship. I was free to college because of my problems on the football field.
Oh.
I was able to go to college for free.
Okay.
Which led to me being in ROTC, which led to me being in the Army, which led to me doing where I am today.
So it all just kind of filtered into...
It did filter together, yes.
Yeah, that's great. And then that has filtered into the business model and everything, right. And here we are today.
Here we are today.
Here we are today.
Right. And if you hear somebody say C5 or C this, in the Army, that's what everybody, I was C6.
You were C6.
Company commander.
Okay.
Yeah, small unit leader. Each one of those, you'll hear somebody say that C1, C5, C1, emergency.
Okay.
C2, all those numbers down. Mm-hmm. Then my whole office is set up like the G section, G1, G2, personnel, insurance, all that supply. Okay. Same thing in my office. Yeah. Same, we just don't call it by those numbers, but that's all set up. The Army did great. College did great. Mm-hmm. I went to college because of football, which allowed me to go to school for free. In fact, I played football with the kid that owns Budweiser.
Oh, okay.
Huh?
Duran
What? Duran Cherry's uncle and I played football together in Maryland. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're both on
Small world, isn't it?
Small world.
Yeah.
Small world. Right.
Well, let me thank you for your service.
My pleasure.
And thank you for the opportunity to talk with you today.
All right.
It's been my pleasure.
Mine too.
Thank you.
Let's build Archive Plaza.
Let's do it.
Thank you for tuning in to an episode of the Big Break Podcast. Now be sure to like, review, and subscribe to the Big Break on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and anywhere else you get your podcasts. We also want to thank Missouri Humanities. Their financial support helps us in connecting Missourians to the people, places, and ideas that shape society. So stay connected for more incredible conversations from the American Jazz Museum, because this is where jazz lives.